Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping right into a really wild story, the cryptocurrency LIBRA.
Yeah, it just exploded in 2025. Huge rise.
And then, boom, an equally huge fall. We're going to unpack that whole roller coaster.
And we're mainly using this book, Crypto City, The Rise and Fall of LIBRA. It's creative nonfiction, so it gives us this, inside perspective.
Right, through the eyes of Mia. She starts as a barista, pretty broke, and gets swept up in the whole thing.
So picture Crypto City back in 2025. It's this buzzing online world, right? Digital money is the big treasure hunt.
Totally. Huge excitement, but also, massive risks. He had coins like, what was it, Butthole Coin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Things popping up and disappearing. Shows you how speculative it all was.
And Mia's right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Drawn in by the LIBRA hype, wants to escape her job.
Ends up trading her car for LIBRA. That's a big move.
A huge move, and she's optimistic at first, especially after this big endorsement comes through.
Ah, yes, President Milei from Argentina.
His tweet basically lit the fuse, didn't it?
Absolutely. So our mission today, really, is to figure out what drove that insane climb and the even faster crash.
We're looking for those key lessons, those aha moments about DeFi, market dynamics, all that stuff.
There are definitely a few of those coming up. It gets pretty interesting.
Okay, let's dive in. Mia's motivation first. Like you said, escaping the daily grind.
Yeah, the dead-end job, the old car. LIBRA looked like a ticket out. Totally understandable why people felt that pull.
And then the Myra tweet lands.
Yeah.
He basically says LIBRA is great for Argentina's economy.
Which, in crypto terms, is like having, I don't know, Chris Hemsworth suddenly tell everyone to buy a specific brand of protein shake.
Exactly. It's that celebrity effect, right?
Yeah.
Instant credibility, massive attention. People aren't necessarily looking at the fundamentals.
No, not at all. It just triggered this massive FOMO, fear of missing out.
Mia's phone blows up. Her friends, even her boss, who was kind of skeptical before.
Everyone's suddenly buying LIBRA. It's this, frenzy.
So Mia jumps in, too. Just $50, right?
Yeah.
Tip money she was saving.
Yeah, not a huge amount, but then it starts growing fast.
And she starts dreaming. New car, paying off debt. The crypto dream.
A dream a lot of people were having right then. But there's this other group, the early birds.
Ah, the insiders. The ones who got in before Miley's tweet.
Exactly. They bought LIBRA when it was cheap, before the public rush. And, well, that becomes pretty important later on.
So things are looking amazing for Mia and her friends, right? Texts flying back and forth.
Oh, yeah. Sasha's planning a party. Jake's picking out new gaming stuff. Even Mia's little sister's asking about it. Pure euphoria.
But Mia gets this nagging feeling, this question.
The big one. If everyone's making money, where's it actually coming from?
That's a crucial question. And one people, tend to ignore when things are booming.
Definitely hints that maybe it's not sustainable, right? If it's just hype driving it.
And that high doesn't last. The price starts to dip. Not a crash yet, but downwards.
Just enough to make people nervous. Mia's checking her phone constantly, hoping it'll bounce back.
But it doesn't. It keeps sliding.
And that slide turns into an avalanche. It goes from what Sasha texted, $200, $300.
Yeah, around there at the peak.
Down to $180, then $120. By 4 p.m., it's $20. Just hours.
Oof. Panic selling kicks in hard.
And then the platforms, the
Yeah.
exchanges where everyone's trading, they just buckle.
Right. They can't handle the traffic, transactions slow down, systems freeze.
People are trapped. They want to sell, but they can't. Jake couldn't get his sell order through, remember? The platform just lagged.
Nightmare scenario. You're just watching the value plummet and you can't do anything.
Yeah.
That's a huge risk with some of these platforms, isn't it?
It really is. Decentralized is great for some things, but under extreme stress, yeah, they can fail. Key lesson there.
Mia finally gets her sell order through, but it's way, way down.
That $50, which briefly looked like a small fortune, poof, gone, worthless.
And the dreams evaporate just as quickly. No new car.
The group chat goes from party planning to, group therapy. Sasha's devastated. Jake's already talking lawyers.
Even the little sister's fairy gold dreams are crushed. It's brutal.
And it brings us right back to Mia's question, doesn't it? Where did the money come from?
And where did it go? Because in these situations, the early money often comes from later investors. It's like a house of cards.
Exactly. Until the new money stops flowing in, then crash.
So who was behind LIBRA? Let's talk about the architects.
Okay, so the book points to Hayden Davis and Kelsier Ventures. They created it, they promoted it heavily.
And Hayden apparently had some experience, even with meme coins, like that Butthole Coin we mentioned.
Right, not exactly a blue chip background, maybe. And they worked closely with President Milei.
Hayden was advising Milei, positioning LIBRA as this, economic solution for Argentina.
Presenting it as a tool for growth, but
But the book suggests they weren't just doing it out of the goodness of their hearts, right?
definitely not. Strong hints of major self-interest. They stood to make a lot of money if LIBRA took off.
Which is a potential conflict of interest, to say the least.
And then there are those insider allegations. That Hayden's group loaded up on LIBRA before the Milei pump.
Yeah, that raises huge questions about fairness. Did they have an unfair head start?
Seems likely based on the narrative. Okay, so who provided the tech, the actual trading platform?
That was Meteoric. The book calls it the online lemonade stand for LIBRA.
Good analogy. So they listed the coin, tried to provide liquidity, making sure trading was smooth.
Handled security, processed the buys and sells. They were the essential plumbing, really.
But then you get these whispers in the wind. Whistleblower allegations against Meteora, serious stuff.
Like front-running.
Yeah.
Which is basically cheating, right?
Yeah, it's using inside info for profit. If they knew Kelsier Ventures, say, was about to make a huge buy.
Someone at Meteora could quickly buy some LIBRA just before, wait for the price to jump from Kelsier's buy.
And then sell for an instant profit. It's totally unethical and illegal in regulated markets.
They also mentioned wash trading.
Right. Creating fake volume, making it look like LIBRA was way more popular than it actually was.
How does that work?
Basically, trading back and forth between accounts they control. It generates activity logs, looks like lots of people are trading, which can trick real investors into buying.
Deceptive. And then just general market manipulation.
Yeah, using their control of the platform itself to nudge the price where they wanted it, maybe delaying certain orders, prioritizing others.
And not being transparent about any of it.
Exactly, which just feeds the suspicion, the motive. Pretty obviously, profit.
Big profits, potentially, by controlling the market, maybe working with Hayden and Kelsier.
That's what the allegations suggest, a coordinated effort between the creators and the platform.
Okay, let's circle back to President Milei. His background is key here, isn't it?
Yeah, his libertarian views, deep distrust of government control. It comes from Argentina's history with hyperinflation. He saw crypto, maybe specifically LIBRA, as a way out.
So he became his biggest cheerleader. This will solve Argentina's problems.
And his endorsement, like we said, was huge, but it was also instantly controversial.
A double-edged sword. Massive hype, but also immediate skepticism and criticism. People started asking questions.
Questions about his motives. Did he know something others didn't? What was his relationship with Hayden Davis really like?
Were there special favors, as the book hints? Did he benefit personally?
We don't have definitive proof from the source, but the questions were definitely swirling. And then the crash happened so fast after his peak endorsement.
Yeah, just hours later. The perception flipped overnight. From potential savior to maybe someone who led people off a cliff.
It was a dramatic fall from grace for him in the eyes of many investors. That timeline is just brutal.
Okay, another big personality involved. Dave Portnoy. El Presidente.
Right.
Huge following from Barstool Sports, and then jumps into crypto.
And he went all in promoting LIBRA. That live stream, trust me on this one.
And his followers, the Stoolies, they listened. They piled in based on his word.
Which makes what happened next even more controversial.
The refund. After the crash, Hayden Davis gives Portnoy his money back.
Wow. Just damn him while everyone else lost everything. Exactly. Immediately raises red flags. Why the special treatment? Was it hush money? An admission of something?
People accused him of having insider info, being a paid promoter.
He denied it all, of course, but the suspicions stuck.
And then that blockchain analysis connecting LIBRA wallets to other failed coins. Melania, Enron.
Yeah, suggesting maybe it wasn't Portnoy's first time involved in something like this. A pattern, perhaps.
His fans were furious. Hashtag Portnoy the scammer was trending.
Ouch. But he still stayed in the game, even launched another coin, PRES, later on.
His story really highlights that whole influencer risk, doesn't it? Relying on a personality cult can be dangerous in crypto.
Incredibly dangerous, especially when there might be undisclosed deals or manipulation happening behind the scenes.
So the crash itself, why did the bubble burst so spectacularly?
Combination of things, really. Those inflated promises couldn't hold up. The market manipulation rumors gained traction. Confidence just evaporated.
Like that soap bubble analogy in the book. Beautiful, shiny, but pop. Gone.
A key warning sign looking back was trading volume dropping off after the initial mania. Less real interest.
And then the rumors about Meteora manipulating things.
Yeah.
That was the spark that lit the fire sale.
And the scale of the money pulled out $107 million. Just vacuumed out of the system.
Where did it go? That's the multi-million-dollar question, isn't it?
Still unanswered according to the source.